Hey there, gamers. DreamcastGuy here. Today we're talking about Starfield because this game is such an interesting paradox in the fact that this is technically one of the most expensive Xbox games ever made. They essentially purchased Bethesda specifically to put this out. I mean, they even admit that in court documents. I mean, this was supposed to be that next big Bethesda masterpiece, something of the scope of Fallout, of Skyrim, something that massive, right? The Elder Scrolls moment. But instead of being Elder Scrolls in space, it was kind of a boring mess. I mean, Starfield isn't the worst game of all time. It's just bland. It's just big and it's empty. The developers have tried to claim that's sort of the point. You're not supposed to be having fun. You're supposed to be getting a realistic space simulator. But ever since that very lackluster launch, there's been rumblings that Bethesda is trying to fix it. They're trying to revamp it. They're trying to essentially do what Cyberpunk 2077 did, right? Where that game came out and the bare bones of it was good, you know? A lot of great art, a lot of great storylines, but the gameplay, the glitches, and the police system, there was some stuff that just fundamentally did not work. So they went back, they kept cooking, and not only did they 2.0 it, make a completely better version of Cyberpunk, they released one of the best expansions of all time. The rumors we're going to discuss today is that apparently Starfield 2.0 and the next expansion is coming very soon. We're apparently going to see it maybe here in the next couple weeks, and it's also coming to maybe Nintendo Switch 2 and PlayStation. Let's talk, because I think I'm in the pessimism camp right now. I cannot imagine even being able to save Starfield. Let's talk. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, I've seen a lot of people talking as these rumors sort of bubble up. It is interesting how Starfield has had essentially no cultural impact, no relevance of any other Bethesda game. Nobody's making memes, nobody's quoting characters the way they did Arrow to the Knee or talking about Three Dog. The way that there are so many iconic characters, iconic quest lines, memeable moments in every other Bethesda game. Starfield is so sauceless. But what it sounds like is Todd Howard has been talking a bit. Now, this is a quote that came out last year. You can see this June 16th, 2024. And he said the plan is to essentially make a new expansion for Starfield every single year. Now, this is what other Bethesda games historically have done. We got, for the first couple of years after Skyrim came out, you got Hearthfire, you got Dawnguard, you got all the expansions, the Dragonborn. So they talked about the fact that Starfield's not dead. Starfield's going to get expansions. In fact, even if you actually go to it, they claimed this year, if you click any Starfield tweet, everybody is talking about this tweet that came out in March. We know you're eager for an update, and we truly appreciate your passion for Starfield. The team has been hard at work, and while we're not ready to share specific details just yet, we have a lot of exciting plans for the game this year. So that right there, we have a lot of exciting plans planned for this year that we can't wait to talk about. Everybody is like, okay, finish the game. It's Christmas. Can you give us an actual talk about that annual update? Where's the 2025 update? Not just a car, not just fixing a couple more bugs, not just more optimization. Where is that next expansion you guys talked about, right? Well, fast forward to last night. Detective Seeds is a very, very controversial leaker. I think even he would admit that. He's actually banned from a lot of different leaking places, like the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit. He has been right here and there, and he has been wrong here and there. And when he's wrong, he kind of admits it. But here was one that I'm reporting on this because I've seen other people sort of murmuring about this as well. That apparently this has been in the works for a while. He's kind of just saying, now is the time. I think Starfield 2.0 is really going to surprise people and get people back into the game. I think PS5 players are going to enjoy it now. My main concern is that 2026 is so packed with games that many people may be hesitant to give it a fresh look. So this thing is that, what is this Starfield 2.0? The talk is that they are trying to fundamentally revamp the core gameplay loop. The big problem with Starfield is that the same thing something like No Man's Sky had at launch, which is that it's an interesting little nugget at the start, but there's just not enough to explore, to get lost in. There are hundreds and hundreds of completely empty planets in Starfield. Maybe you could fix that. Maybe you could make it where there's not so many load screens. Maybe you could make it so that combat is a little bit more fun. Like, it's just the problem is that Starfield, just in general, it feels so unfinished. Especially at launch, it was running at such a bad frame rate and stuff. It just felt like it came out and instantly everybody forgot it even exists. My concern is that when this comes out, it needs such a relaunch that it's going to get people talking again. It's hard for me to imagine people coming back to it, but even if it launched on PS5, after all the bad years of buzz, I just can't imagine suddenly like PlayStation 5 people are going to go, oh yeah, the one exclusive Xbox had that got terrible reviews, huzzah. But here's the thing. So he is claiming, multiple people have claimed, including Detective Seeds, that they recently did a behind closed door showing of upcoming Starfield content. A place recently making those who attended very excited for the future of the game. Now, Destin Gary chimed in this. I was not there. My hot take is they can make 5,000 changes, but if the opening game is still the same, they will see attrition. Feels like they need a fresh new start, literally, to make it feel like an entirely new game and give skeptics a reason to jump in. This is a very interesting note, which is two things at once. One, I'm a little skeptical about them saying the leak is that they had hey, everybody fly to Bethesda and try out the new build of the game. Bethesda doesn't typically do that kind of stuff at this time of the year. A lot of companies don't actually usually do those like hands-on press events around between like Thanksgiving and December. If they did do it, it's extremely odd. And people are saying they have to hold on to this until sometime in like January or February. I just can't imagine if this is like real, that gameplay is going to leak. It's going to get posted somewhere, some screenshots of like a revamped UI or something. But I do agree with the fact that the real core problem of Starfield, more than anything else, is just how bad that story is. I have beaten Starfield, I think, 5 separate times. And the reason I put that in quotes is that the first time you beat Starfield, it takes quite a while, learning about the Starborn and the mystery of the universe. What are these artifacts? What are these magic powers? But then after you beat it the first time, you can just keep resetting the universe. That's essentially every time you beat it, it resets the universe. So you see every time's a new game plus. There is something so dry, stale, and downright boring to that story. None of the stuff really, in my mind, actually works. Like, I agree with that original tweet, the person who said, none of it's memorable. I mean, think about it. I cannot remember a single Starfield person's name at all. I mean, you could literally give me sodium pentothal, truth serum, and said, all right, now name 10 Bethesda characters. Every single one of them would be people from, like, Skyrim and Fallout and old school Elder Scrolls, Morrowind, right? Dagoth but here's the thing. A lot of the changes people are sort of suggesting to me just sound lackluster. Like, this is the thing. A few features coming to Starfield. Significantly reduce load screens. Yeah, buddy, this seems so basic. The fact that wasn't in there at launch. Interplanetary travel. Now, one of the things people really did not like at launch is that you're physically stuck on a planet. If you try to fly to a nearby planet, you can't. There's like a little force field. Flying from one planet to another is impossible. The only way to go anywhere is with fast travel. Space travel is basically fake. You're basically in like a little treadmill bubble. So they're saying now you can actually fly to planets. You know what? I'll believe it when I see it. PS5 and Switch 2 ports, that would be interesting. Point of integration revamp. So, okay. So point of interest, I guess, means now you can tag objects better and stuff. This is the type of stuff that's just so minor. These are not 2.0 changes. These are like basic fixes that should have just been a shadow dropped patch to the 12 people still playing this game. Second DLC expansion. It'll be worth the wait. Will be 2026. I'm in the frame of mind that I want this to be completely different, right? What they managed to do with Cyberpunk 2027, revamping the skill trees especially, made such a big difference, changing a lot of how the cyberware works and stuff. When we got Cyberpunk 2.0, it wasn't just a great like next-gen graphical leap over the original version and stuff. It was a better game. I'm in a spot where even with changes like this, even if you did manage to make the frame rate better, the visuals better, the world more alive, make it so there's more quests, more hubs, more characters, more actual acting in it, I'm just not sure you can put enough into that boring broth to make the soup not taste like somebody shit in the punch bowl. I don't know. How do you feel about Starfield in 2025? How do you feel about it going into 2026? And I guess the real question is, am I going to eat crow? If this comes out and it actually is a total banger and they drop it on PlayStation 6, it would be interesting to see a total revamp that doesn't suck, but at this point, truly, I'll believe it when I see it. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.